According to former federal prosecutor and legal expert Andrew Weissmann, Donald Trump's lawyers have a big problem on their hands. And here's what that problem is. You see, going into the hush money trial, their whole defense was that Michael Cohen, who was going to be, supposed to be the star witness for the prosecution, their defense is that Michael Cohen is just a big fat liar. He even went to prison for it. Such a bad dude. He has no credibility. What a worthless piece of crap, right? That is the case they wanted to make to the jury even before Michael Cohen came to testify. Their entire legal strategy hinges on tainting the testimony of Michael Cohen because they want to paint him as unreliable and not trustworthy. But as Andrew Weissmann points out, the big problem with that is that so far, literally every single witness that the prosecution has called has completely corroborated Michael Cohen's story. So you can attack Michael Cohen all you want. You can say all these horrible things about him and his credibility. The fact of the matter is, everybody else that's been paraded up there on that witness stand has said, yeah, that is what happened. Michael Cohen is right. Donald Trump is wrong. Let me read you this from Weissmann. This case is made very much without Michael Cohen. I mean, this is so corroborated, and it is not just that you have David Pecker and now Keith Davidson, Stormy Daniels' former lawyer. It is completely corroborated, particularly with respect to Mr. Davidson, by so many texts and email exchanges and the written documents. It is so completely consistent with this story. The whole idea that Michael Cohen had to essentially take over the role of the National Enquirer because they no longer were willing to be, as we heard from Mr. Pecker, the bank. And so there was this scramble at the last minute about how Michael Cohen would come up with the money to replace the money that National Enquirer had been focusing on. To put it another way, Michael Cohen is telling the truth, Weissmann says. So any attempt by Donald Trump's lawyers to taint the credibility of Mr. Cohen is not going to work because every other witness so far has testified to the credibility of Michael Cohen's claims. So what do the lawyers have left? Like, what is Donald Trump's defense going to do now? They don't know. They're scrambling. They're trying to come up with a new idea to completely redo their trial strategy in the middle of the trial. And that is something that is exceptionally hard to do, especially when none of the evidence works in your favor. But I think this was kind of always the gambit here for Trump's team. They thought they could taint Michael Cohen, and even if they couldn't taint Michael Cohen, they have one ace up their sleeve, or at least they think they do. And that ace happens to be the Supreme Court's decision on whether or not Donald Trump is immune from prosecution. They think, well, even if we can't get Cohen to look bad in front of the jury, don't worry, Supreme Court's going to step in and save you. But as I've repeatedly pointed out, the Supreme Court, even if they say Trump has immunity from everything, even unofficial duties as president, doesn't save him from this trial. Because most of what took place happened before Donald Trump was sworn in as president. So immunity may save him from a couple of the charges that he's facing, but not all of them. He would still go down for it. So Trump's lawyers are up a creek at this point, and as the old saying goes, they don't have a paddle. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.